nachos, amigos, and welcome back to Hallyujuku, your fun East Asian pop culture goodness podcast thing. I'm Peter Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me, of course, as always, is my partner in crime, Brandon Cooper, aka Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing well. I'm rocking what I like to call hobo chic.
It's a boho. Not hobo, it's bohemian. Riding the rails for a good day's pay. We're here, of course, to discuss East Asian pop culture, K-pop and the like, doing that and the other thing. Of course, we start off every episode, talk about what's new, what's caught our attention this week. Cass, what's new?
Yeah,
what's caught your attention? What's happened this week?
So there is a couple of things that caught my attention this week, and we're going to start with been named Day, not the Day that you're thinking of. I don't know much about Day. I had looked up a little bit of stuff, but there wasn't a lot that I could find. But a relatively new-ish rapper, not all that new, but put out a song called Piggy Bank, and it's actually pretty damn good. Not super fun song, but I think it's super fun. And it has a lot of like fun elements to it, and I kind of like we've always said before, we like this style of braggadocious, where it's styled to be fun, have fun, and all be about it being fun.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. It has some of those like elements of a little bit of swag, swag lordness, and it kind of is at least adjacent to those styles. It's kind of well into that style of like the swagalicious, braggadocious, kind of like hip hop style. It's good. I have to give it a few more listens maybe to see if I can really get down with it. But I can definitely see how it's at least a little bit less grating than when they truly get, like try hard, which this can feel a little bit, but like it's not, they're not flashing guns. This isn't like gritty, in the dark, like, all that style is at least meant to have the personality and be fun. So I'll give it that. It also has Harswan, who I first heard on the new Mama Moo album, which we're going to talk about when it gets to my turn.
Yeah. I didn't really like his style in this song. It was his vocal just odd, and it made me look back at my screen. What's going on?
Yeah.
Because it's very. You're like, I'm sorry, what? What?
It's
microphone in front of you. Speak into it.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a very much like a. I don't want to say appropriation, but very much like a version of the lean style. I'm fucking drinking lean, and this is me high on lean rapping like, yo man, like. It's kind of like that. I think that's what he's going for. Which that's I think part of what it's like.
I don't know. I still like the beat. I like the music. I like Day. I like his flow style. It was really fun. So definitely worth checking out. So go do that. So my next song is by a gentleman that we have praised here many times before, and it's Loco with his new song Still, which I like this song. It's a slower song. It's almost a ballad, almost, not really though. but I definitely enjoyed it, and I like the style of it. It's very K-pop. It's very K-pop in its styling.
Yeah.
Even though it's in black and white, it has this very brightness to it. Even though it's supposed to be kind of dark, which is kind of a pop thing. But I really enjoyed it. I like the song. I like the flow. And Loco is kind of I don't know. I really like Loco as an artist, and I think he's just going to keep growing.
Yeah. He's cool. I like this. I like what I'm hearing of this. It is kind of more chill, more slow paced. Than kind of some of the hip hop, but it's that style of song. It's what you're gonna expect with a lot of Korean hip hop artists, and it's just a thing that they have to do if they're in the industry. It's R&B styled, and that's what you're gonna expect from some. I think probably gonna expect at least sometimes from somebody on AOMG, just because J Park. Yeah. J Park, for all for the swag lordness that he is, he at his heart he is also an R&B guy, so an R&B songwriter. He knows how to make music that makes the ladies happy. He wants to make the ladies happy.
I will say, like, I don't think there have been very many AOMG artists that we don't like. Like, AOMG has done a relatively good job in creating a good base of the people. Yeah. There's probably those second tier of people that you don't hear as much from that aren't as great, but the people that you kind of know to be the core of AOMG are really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's J Park, it's Simon Dominique, it's Gray, who we've talked about before, Cha-Cha Malone, who's mainly producer, Hoodie, just recently, she put out some good stuff, Loco, and then there's Ugly Duck, Elo, DJ Weegun, DJ Pumpkin, and Hep are mostly just other guys. The two DJs are just DJs, and Hep is a graphic designer.
Yeah,
this is like the music artists. I think we've enjoyed. I think Ugly Duck is his own personality, but we can appreciate him for what he is.
All right. So I got one more for us. And I was kind of debating putting this in here because this gave me mixed feelings, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just get this out of the way. So B.A.P's new release, Skydive, an amazing song. Really, really enjoyed the fuck out of this song. I love the hell out of it. I think it's really, really good. So definitely go listen to it. Go check it out. I think B.A.P is coming back strong.
Yeah.
Here's my problem.
I would say it's a return to B.A.P form.
Yeah. High energy, just really good, like, just fun K-pop music. It's K-pop at its K-popiest, like, there's nothing else. It's K-pop.
Yeah.
So, the problem I have with it is the video. I think the video is just way too much. Like, it's just too much. It's too long. I know. I know there are mini movies, but this is legitimately a mini movie. The narrative makes no sense. It's all over the place as a narrative for a video. And I don't know. If you take out all the fake story that you put in here and you kind of put the little, like, performance stuff and all this other stuff in here that just makes it a K-pop video, I'd enjoy it more. But all this other shit you put in here, it kills me. It fucking kills me.
I think a good way to put it is how they put it on Asian Junkie. It's one shot on steroids. Which you kind of can say that this kind of brings them back to the B.A.P form that we remember from, like, One Shot or Warriors and things like that. Which I like. The video is kind of ridiculous. It's very ambitious. It's very over the top. It's very like I don't know. Somebody in B.A.P. or played a lot of what the fuck is it called? Fucking sudden attack. And decided, decided they wanted to do a big firefight in the middle of the song, in the middle of the video.
Yeah.
You figure Jung-up was going to be the bad guy. Spoiler alert. There's a double cross. You figure he was going to be the bad guy when we found out that he had a Jewish slur tattoo on his hand. Apparently, it's a Jewish, Jewish slur, a Russian Jewish slur. It's basically beat the Jews, save Russia, in Russian. It was very SS, very World War II. It's like so there was that. So you know what? That was your biggest clue at the to the twist at the end. Some stylists just didn't bother looking anything up. But yeah, I think the video was
that's
cool.
They looked up gang, and then like, oh, I can see that one. I can recreate that. Yeah, okay, give me your hand. Like, I could draw that. That's easy.
Yeah.
And then later on,
print it out.
Shit. Like,
cool tattoo.
Probably should have looked at the translation.
Skull tattoo. They went on Neighbor. Went skull tattoo. Order that in Korean. It's like, yeah. But yeah, the video was. I didn't mind the video. It's definitely not a multiple view video. It's not one you're gonna watch over and over again to get your fix of the song. But it's an interesting experience the first time.
Yeah, it is. But I definitely bless you. I definitely like the song. I really like the song. A lot, and I think it's a really good song. Yeah.
Holy crap! I've been on the wrong mic this whole time. Well, sorry for that audio. I don't feel like starting over. So it's the way it is. I was recording off of down here. So I am very sorry for the beginning of our episode, but you know what? We're just gonna keep going.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's B.A.P. Skydive. Great song, mediocre video. Still worth checking out. Like Petey said, it's an experience the first time you watch it. I will say the first time I watched it, when I when I do my little bit of research for Hallyujuku, I'll go and I'll look at a video maybe a couple of times. And what happened was I opened up a couple of different videos sometimes, and I did that this week. Sometimes there's a bit of a scramble, but this week I opened up a couple of different videos, and I kind of knew what I wanted to pick going in, and I knew this B.A.P. song was coming out, but I didn't look at anything about what the video was going to be. So I go into it, and I just clicked on it, and I'm watching it, and then at some point I was finally like, this video's still going, man. like, fuck, this video is still fucking going, man. It's still going.
Yeah.
And then I finally scrolled over the time bar and I'm 10 minutes. What the fuck? Hey, P, what you doing to me? But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the song a lot, so
yeah,
that's my take.
Yeah. Not what's new with me. So of course, I think it's very easy to predict what I'm going to start with. Obviously, like I said, I mentioned Mamamoo earlier. And yeah, what else am I going to talk about? New Mamamoo release. It came out. We've entered phase 2 of the Mamamoo musical universe, just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This, I guess, since this is the first one back, this probably is the Iron Man 3 of the of the Mamamoo musical universe, if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, Mamamoo came out with a new mini album, Memory, with a promotional single by the name of Dekal Komani, which is the original word from which we get decal. Yeah, decal or decal. It is a very much it is very much playing up to the to the power vocals aspect of Mamamoo. Overall, it's a good song and I enjoy it. I think it has very much showcases their vocals first and foremost. It has some pretty good, pretty cool instrumental going for it. It has very much a more mature sound. I think it was a more mature sound. It has a very cool mature style to it, and has a cool instrumental. I think if you were to fault the song for a couple things, it would be that it is very much leans into the idea of it being about like belting and power chords and power vocals and like going full diva ailey, that thing. Um,
Yeah.
where that isn't necessarily uh what all of Mamamoo has to be. Though I mean they have power vocals, but they do. I don't know. That's not necessarily what they have to make their thing because they're so versatile. And I think that, it is that very much leans into that diva style vocaling, and I think I don't mind it as much, but I think if they had de-emphasized the belting, the chorus, and focused more on what they had going on in the instrumental, have a different balance to it, it could have been a lot better of a song. But overall, I liked it. What did you think of the song?
I liked it. It's definitely maybe not my favorite Mamamoo song, but I didn't find too much wrong with it to complain about. Like there's really nothing to complain about for me. But I do kind of agree with some of the gripes that you had. Maybe that it's too much too much of a power ballad in that Korean style. But I don't know. It's still fine. I don't know. I kind of tend to when I get to know a group for kind of fun, exciting songs, I tend to really like those from them more than anything else.
Yeah.
I tend to like that stuff from Mamamoo a little bit more, but I don't mind them doing these kind of things just to show range, And I mean, they're not always going to do it, and this isn't a like this is what they're going to do from now on. It's just to show a little bit of difference, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, showing a little bit of evolution, taking what their strengths are and evolving a bit. The music video is nice. They look great, all of them. Their visuals are fantastic. Uh, there's and it worked really well with the song. I will say, speaking of music videos that kind of go a little bit too long or have some things that could be trimmed down, uh, there was the odd sequence in the breakdown where it's just like the song disappears and then we have this like awkward ass like flirting culminating kissing scene that's very obviously supposed to be like they find they're like whoa they finally get down and dirty and they're awoken um which is okay in and of itself. I will say it was even worse in uh the original cut of the video, where there's a lot of like it's very much playing on the Korean wrist grab, which is annoying. Also with like fucking this dude cornering the women or grabbing them by the wrist to bring them back, or to kind of bring them in for this like culminating kiss, which was borderline with the three other girls. But then there was the original cut of Solar's segment where she is very obviously distressed and cornered in an elevator and being very much assaulted. Like it is. There's literally no bones about it. Like I found it perfectly. Like there's literally no question about like the tone of this. Like that's not romantic. Look at her. Like that no, like that is an
This
assault.
is a bad direction.
Yeah, that's an assault. Like the other ones are 50-50. Like Moonbyul's is nice because she brings him in with the tie and like you know uh and I would say my if it wasn't for this whole other thing, my main gripe was that the kiss was so softcore and hidden. I guess they're not actresses, so it's probably wasn't even doing that was super awkward for them. But the I don't know. I'm not a fan of like that. Plus, even on top of that, the whole sequence was unnecessary and disrupted the flow of the song. Like on top of all that, so I wasn't a fan of that part of the video. So for now, if I'm gonna watch the video, I'm gonna watch the performance, the dance version, which is a lot better for repeat viewing. So go check that out.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't know if you had thoughts on the whole like the whole video or what the sequences in the video.
Not really. The video was just kind of meh overall. Like it's just kind of there. And I don't know. I'm starting to notice that with there's a lot of videos now. Unless they really, really go for it, it's kind of just there to be there because videos are a thing in Korea. So you kind of have to have a video because video plays are still a thing on shows and stuff like that. So
And the fan base still watches music video on the internet, so that's still useful.
Mhm.
And they need those to win the music shows, which is still useful. But yeah, moving on. Speaking of artists coming back from we talked about them last week in our or I think last week or the other week when we talked about like the 7-year curse and like surviving it and things like that. T-Ara came out with a new track called Ti Amo. Uh, it's an interesting track. It's more of a ballad than anything else. Uh, but it's definitely not super low tempo. It has some tempo. It has kind of like it has some instrumental, and it's nice. It's not it's not an all out club banger like we've come to expect from T-Ara. But it's nice and sentimental, and they look great, and it's pretty. I like it. It's pretty. What do you think, Cass?
I like the song. I mean, I like Tiara. And I enjoyed this song for the most part. Um, Probably not gonna go back to it. It is like, oh man, new Tiara. That's cool. Can't wait for the next song.
The
Like,
album. What's on?
there's
Let's do some
nothing wrong with
details.
it overall, but I don't know. It's just kind of like meh.
Yeah,
Like there's literally it's not bad. It's just kind of meh.
it's just a winter ballad. It's about as much as you can expect from the genre. And that's fine. But what's really cool is just seeing them, the fact that they're, in the face of all the people that are wishing them to go away, they're still, out there making music. Uh, and I did like the recent interview where they were talking about how the fact they had actually mentioned that they they had already passed their uh, curse time because they had shorter contracts and they've been renewing at least a couple times. So uh, they've they've stuck to it, and they're kind
Yeah.
of sticking in the haters' faces. Which you know what, that makes me happy. Nothing else. The fact that they make salty ass haters angry with every breath that they make, and they're proud of it. Is good to me. Again, keep it going, Tiara. Let's see, what do I got? I don't have a lot of stuff. But not much to talk about. I have a couple songs. Life and Time is a cool indie band that I is I think I talked about it on the show. Yeah, I've talked about it on the show, I think. But they're really cool, like interesting indie band that have been told about. They have their bassist is also the bassist for the Cox, which I've definitely talked about on the show. They came out with kind of a new track. I don't know their English title to it, but it's Madaricha. Uh, and it's a cool track. It is like they've kind of historically done like a little bit more of a rock and roll sound, but this one was just straight up ska punk, like just
Yeah.
upstroke, like very bass centric ska punk, and I thoroughly liked it, and it was super fun. Uh, fun to like sit and groove to and wiggle my butt around. The video is very simple. It's very much just a straightforward performance video. It's just them on a stage with a crowd in front of them. To get to see the lead singer of the Cox randomly in the crowd just jumping around like a fool, and that was fun as hell. Yeah, overall this is a really cool track. Life in Time is a cool band that does really cool like way out there things and that just like for the sake of like because it's fun to them. And I really enjoyed it. What did you think?
I love bands that you literally watch have fun with music because they're good and they can just have fun with music. So I love shit like this. This is totally fucking awesome. And I definitely want to hear more from this band. I don't remember us bringing them up, but I think we did. But fucking, I definitely want to hear them more on this show because I think people need to hear more stuff like. You can tell they're just having fucking fun, but they're still it's so good. The music is really good. It's super.
There he is.
Fuck, man.
It's him with the purple hair. There's the Cox. And the crowd just like, yeah, that's my boy, kicking ass, yeah. Oh, it was fantastic. I will say that they're gonna be coming up on next week's. No, yeah, wait, no, actually, I have the fucking page. Yeah, next week's Record Breakers is gonna be about their album Land, which we were recording. Definitely had a really cool discussion, and the guys did in fact get a lot out of it. Even Brett was like, "Whoa, this is cool and interesting," and I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it again. Not to spoil. You should still go check out the next week's episode of Record Breakers. We had a cool discussion about it where we were just like we were all the guys' brains were broken by it by the album, which is cool, and I was kind of proud. Like, yeah, I did that. So yeah, go check out Life. Last but not least, I'm probably not going to spend too much about it. Grace released a track called "Trick or Treat," like basically the day before Halloween. Appropriately enough, I hadn't brought it up just because I think the previous times I just had a lot of music to bring up, and it was like I was back and forth on it because it just like come out. Uh, but on repeat listens on follow up listens, I've enjoyed kind of the sound of it. The music video is it's just there. It's kind of like the Mama video. It's just there. It's just standing around the city while people walk down the street. I don't know. It's just there's like literally nothing interesting about the video. But that's why I linked the dance version that she like just released a few days ago. Which is where she nails the choreography. She kind of debuts the choreography for the song, nails it pretty well, and I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it even more watching some fun choreography to go with it. Uh, yeah, the song is cool and like has a cool style to it, and it's just like watching it together with the cool choreography is really nice. What did you think?
I always tend to like the choreography versions of some videos better, just because the performance of a song just fits with some instead of trying to have some weird narrative to go with it. So I'm definitely glad this is the version that I saw first instead of seeing the music video, because it definitely made me enjoy the song a lot more.
And Grace is cool. Like this is not the like uh pseudo Miley Cyrus like wacky Grace that we saw in the I'm Fine Thank You. But I think it's like all right, this is her after like spending time on Unpretty Rap Star. Maybe it's almost like she spent time in developmental a little bit and refined her style. while still
Yeah.
being a little bit out there and a little bit like a little bit atypical, but we'll still kind of like bringing it down and like honing her style in.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm enjoying that aspect, and this is just a cool song. So I'm looking forward to more from Crazy Grace. And the fact that she's active on the internet, she's gonna she has like cool videos. She might even do more vlogs and stuff. And people are lamenting the fact that she's not gonna go on like music shows and stuff. And I'm like, she addressed it on a previous video, so that's just not the approach she wants to go. She wants to go different. She doesn't want like to because nobody cares about music shows. She wants to actually put herself on the internet, be like a musician, putting her music out there, do gigs and stuff, which I imagine she's doing just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
She's going for the global thing. She's not trying to just. She doesn't want to just be another Korean pop chick. She wants it. She's using the Korean pop thing to extend and go beyond, but she's not following that Korean pop track. She's not on that train. And I can respect that as well.
So good for Crazy Grace. Do your thing. Keep kicking ass. I'll keep rooting for you. All right. So yeah, that's all for what's new. We're gonna transition over to our headlines. So I'll transition to the scene and do the other scene and bada boom, bada boom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our headlines. Talk about some topical topics, things going on in the world of East Asian pop culture. Things that are fine, interesting, articles that are fine, fun. Let's get it started. First headline: Twice's Tzuyu accidentally calls JYP a bitch. Revolutionary Taiwanese Jin Queen Genghis Tzuyu of Twice. God damn it, all the way from Genki. Made a typo, quote unquote, recently that ended up shitting all over her boss. She supposedly was wanting to try type right JYP Nation. If you kind of read the Hangul, she tries to write Nation in the image above, but instead she wrote what basically translates to JYP you bitch. JYP Nation. Couldn't have said that's true. Of course, it's a typo. Just like calling a show that she was a guest on boring was a mistake. But playing all this truth telling as language errors is the perfect cover for her. This is kind of a have you ever wanted to say some real stuff to your boss and just play it off like you made a language error? I just speak English.
I mean, generally. I mean, I guess you could do that. I mean, I don't know, dude. One of these could be a mistake. The other one was probably some real shit, is what I'm gonna say. I don't know which one.
Yes.
That's for time to tell. But I'm gonna say one of them probably a mistake. The other one, which probably called TV show boring, was probably her speaking some real shit off the top, and then just all of a sudden brought herself back. Was like, oh, my bad. Like,
Yeah. I'm appreciating. Chewie is an odd character because she's, which I think you'll find often with the youngest of any group. They are often there because it's not worth it to sink any more training into them because they're already like on the ball like talent wise, but they don't quite necessarily, since they don't go through the training as long, they don't have all the like variety and like entertainer sense. They're just really talented, or they're really, or with her, she just has the look and she was ready to just go out there and be a face. Because she immediately was like, she immediately had like 15,000 modeling gigs and was hawking. She already had her cardboard cutout on, I think, the other cell phone company, the network company that Solhyun isn't on. So I love that she's like has those like innocently like uh oblivious moments on like variety shows, which is cool. Also calling JYP a bitches. Sometimes necessary. Sometimes it can be kind of. But yeah. Speaking of JYP, move on to the next one. A little bit more of a meteor article. JYP to make moves in America once again. JY Park talks the state of the industry and upcoming JYP plans abroad. This is like an interview, where he talks about different things about the industry now, industry in the future. Uh, but the main thing he talks about is his possibility, kind of teases the possibility of JYP doing something in the States. Right here at the end is like, is there any, interview? Is there any big news we can expect out of JYP Entertainment in the future? To which he replies, we are in the midst of preparing something extremely exciting and new. Interview says, please tell us more. He says, we are in the middle of preparing a huge project in America. We hope that it will turn out well. Currently, it's about 70 to 80% complete, and it's something that I'm very, very excited about. Of course, any Wonder Girls fans are automatically triggered. Because they're like, no, don't kill another group. Because they're worried. But what would you venture to guess this could be?
So I'm not
easy answers. But be a lot.
There are some easy answers, and there's a lot of speculation about maybe releasing a group that is more integrated for the American audience in the K-pop style. But there's also a lot to glean from this interview, especially like him saying that K-pop is this thing that is started by borrowing from the American pop, hip hop, and R&B cultures, but has progressed into being its own thing. So much so that you can now take this thing that it's become and sell it back to the American populace, which is what it is, which is why me and Petey are into it and stuff like this. It has enough of this thing that we can relate to, but it's also different enough and exotic enough, to use that word, that you're drawn to it. For a black guy and a Cuban guy. So, for it has these things that we can see that come from music that we know that is from here in the States, that then when it goes there, comes back here, and that translation that happens and that circle that happens, it becomes this thing that's just different enough that it's interesting. And that's what's really cool about K-pop. And that's always what happens to fail when they bring K-pop to America, is they try to make it once again way too American. And you end up going, yeah, see, that I don't like. I don't know what that shit is.
Like him doing a song with that song with Akon. It's just like, I don't know about this. I don't hold with it, bub. Yeah.
And I definitely feel for the Wonder Girls fans to be slightly triggered to hear anything out of JYP talking about coming to America, because that killed them. Just like any YG fan knows, probably the wanting to anyone to premiere in America also probably killed to anyone. It's a really rough thing, and it's because they always go about it the wrong way, I think.
Yeah. And before anybody says that Wonder Girls technically didn't die, let's be honest with ourselves. They died. It's just that they didn't release the news of, they didn't want to release Wonder Girls disbanded as a headline, because that would turn their stocks to go. Because, stocks react to headlines, not actual information. So they knew, as long as they didn't have to they didn't release any headline that says Wonder Girls disbanded, but they were broken up and they weren't doing anything. And then they reunited. They got a desperate reunification, and then they were able to play it off as, "Oh, we finally put together their comeback project. We've been kind of working on different things for this whole time, and we finally came together with a project we like for them to come back. Yay! We were just kind of making sure it was perfect. They never broke up. They never disbanded. Please believe us." Uh,
Mhm.
and they got lucky because it killed, and they're back to being hugely successful, which is fantastic. But yeah, JYP killed Wonder Girls. Uh, yeah, I don't know. There's also somebody speculated that it could just be simply like a full blown JYP Nation concert in the states, like concert tour in the states, which would still be a big enough project to warrant getting excited about. Because that would be not just a boy group being, being borrowed by some like no name concert promoters. If it was JYP Nation, it would be done properly. It would beat all of the groups, so that would be exciting. It wouldn't go nowhere near me, but it would be exciting. It'd probably be closer to you, but nowhere near me. Yeah, I don't know. Even that though, that sounds cool. JYP Nation.
Yeah.
Would you go to JYP Nation?
It depends on what it is, man. At the end of the day, it has to be
the whole GOT7, 2 p.m. Twice, Wonder Girls,
if this
JYP himself, G Soul. What's left over in Miss A.
If this is more of a product that meant more consistent concerts from those bands that we love in Korea, like in places that we could actually get to, fuck yeah, bro, I'm down. And maybe a couple of releases that are releasing for America, like, fuck yeah. But if it's what it's always been, which is like, hey, your favorite Korean band now with your favorite American producer, like, what do you think of that? No, that it hasn't worked. It's not going to work, and it's just because it's a constant lost in translation thing that never works out correctly, and I don't want that. So
even if it does end up just being a JYP Nation tour, which is with all of those groups, like just going on tour doing shows, that would still be cool. We'll wait with bated breath to see what JYP whispers into our ear.
Yeah,
just be JYP.
Yeah.
Moving
just
on.
JYP T-shirts in America now.
Yes, that's a project. Merch. He's expanding the merch.
We need some Hallyujuku T-shirts.
Yeah, we need to get our own merch to walk around in. Moving on to the next article. Cube makes statement regarding new reports that Beast will start a new company. So we talked about, I think we touched upon it before, but
yeah, we did.
It's been going back and forth, but now we're getting reports that it's finalized that that's it. They're not going back, and they're starting the new company. And there's a couple things I read in a different article that they're starting the company and they're going to name it after one of their songs. So it'd be something like Shock Entertainment or something like that, which sounds really cool. But yeah, just now the internet in Korea is abuzz with reports that Beast has started a new agency. According to one inside source, the new contract for the new company will be signed as quickly as this weekend, and Beast will be starting anew. The inside source continues, if it ends up that Cube Entertainment will not allow them to use the name Beast, they are even thinking of changing their name. These are pretty serious accusations, and Cube has just stated that if Beast has signed with another company, they are unaware of it. A representative from Cube just told the media, we can't know if the members have signed a new contract to start a new company. We only know that as we are still in contract negotiations, that nothing is confirmed. More information on all this is right in the next few minutes or the next weekend or so. Stay tuned. More stuff. So
I mean, it would definitely be kind of exciting. And I mean, we've seen generally individuals do pretty well at stepping out from a label and then working on their own. So this would be an interesting thing to see a group do this. And I think there are a couple of
It's not unprecedented.
older. I think a couple of groups have. It's not. Yeah, it's not unprecedented. I just can't name any precedent at the moment.
Yeah, well, I can tell you one.
Like,
I can tell you
I
one
can.
major one. Shinhua, like the which are the longest reigning, still living boy group. I think even longer. I think they came out before Sex Keys, who just reunited, so they can't even reunite and take that title. So I think they came out in '98, and they're still going strong. And it was just a matter of like them going to like. You know, refusing to have kick out a member and then just been able to take their name and been able to continue their career and start their own label. Which, yeah, like literally, this is the president because they started their own label. I mean, they joined a different label, and then which is Good Entertainment. Then they started their own company called Shinhua Company, which is the label that they're on to this day.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's there. It's possible, especially if you have a strong enough bond and a strong enough belief in the brand that you hold on to. Now the tough part is Shinhua had problems with it before them. Uh, it looks like they're going to have some pushback themselves as well as the name because
Yeah.
Cube owns Beast, the name. So who knows if they're going to be able to like wrangle it from them, like Shinhua ultimately were able to wrangle it from SM Entertainment, uh, or if they're going to end up like having to change their name permanently, or if it's going to be a temporary name change. We'll have to see how that works out. Um, it's going to be very weird to like say for a lot of fans to suddenly have to call them by a whole new name as a group.
Yeah, it could be, but there could also be those things that the fans know them as, or some kind of thing that is between them and the fans that can end up becoming their new name if they can't continue to use Beast. That the really ingrained fans will know, and it'll mean something to them and those fans. But I don't know. It's very depending on the situation, and we'll kind of have to see how this goes and see what this becomes in the future if it is going to become something else.
This is all still developing, even to this day. Because, like I said, this weekend. So this weekend coming up, we might know a little bit more about what's going on with Beast and all that. But yeah, it's still wait and see. We're still waiting to see what goes on with the group that I think we've historically liked, and we hope for the best for them going forward into their new
I do agree.
into their new forms, into their new ideas. Yeah. So yeah, that brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. Cass,
Good up. Yeah, man.
what do you got going on in your world?
There's not much. Same old stuff. Go check out all the links to all the things. Sports Odds and Ends, the Drunk Kids Gaming Podcast, DKG Whelp, me and DJM's Two Nerdy Black Guys, which we should be doing some new episodes of soon. So just go check all those things out. Those are all the things that I always tell you guys to check out. And I love it when you do. So thank you very much. And continue to listen to this show as well.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna first find us find us all over the internet, which is what I say for record breakers. You can of course find us on the internet. He's King Kaz. I'm Peter Rave. We're gonna keep doing this thing. We're Hallyujuku. KPopPodcast.com is a really easy website to share with your friends. To find us at, or just Hallyujuku.com. Rebelli.net for this and other shows. Rebelli TV on YouTube, on Twitch as well. if I decide to kind of get more consistent in streaming and stuff. Yeah, check us out, iTunes, Stitcher, all over the place where you can find podcasts.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
Until next time, hasta los huevos. Fighting.
Give it to me straight, Doctor. Give it to me straight, Doctor. Why, I think you're crazy. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.